November 29th, 1970. Just outside Bergen, Norway, lies a remote stretch of rocky wilderness known as Isdal Valley. Locals had a nickname for it, Death Valley. The name didn't come from crime. It came from isolation. The valley had become known as a place where troubled people went and never came back. That morning, two young girls were hiking through the fog-covered terrain. The air was damp. The sky hung low and grey. And then they smelled something burning. At first, it was faint, then unmistakable. Between the rocks, they saw blackened ground. And lying there was a body. The woman had been severely burned. Her upper body charred. Her face unrecognizable. Scattered nearby were personal items. A broken liquor bottle. Sleeping pills. Fragments of melted fabric. Police would later discover something deliberate. Every label had been cut out of her clothing. Every single one. Someone had removed her identity, piece by piece. The autopsy told a disturbing story. The woman had soot in her lungs, meaning she had been alive when the fire started. Her stomach contained high levels of sleeping pills, not instantly fatal, but enough to heavily sedate her. Her jaw showed fractures, but there were no defensive wounds, no signs of struggle. It raised a chilling possibility. Was she unconscious when she burned? Or did she allow it to happen? There was no passport, no wallet, no identification. Her dental work, however, told a different story. It appeared she had received treatment in multiple countries. This wasn't someone local. This was someone who traveled. Someone careful. Someone who did not want to be traced. Police began tracing her movements. And what they uncovered changed everything. In the months before her death, she had stayed in hotels across Norway, each time under a different name. She claimed to be Belgian, then French, then from another country entirely. Witnesses describe her as elegant, well-dressed, reserved. Sometimes she wore wigs. Sometimes she altered her accent. She paid in cash, always in cash. Each hotel room she left behind was immaculate. Beds made, surfaces wiped clean, windows tightly shut, curtains drawn. She left no fingerprints, no notes, no personal traces. It was as if she rehearsed disappearing. Then investigators found something unexpected. 2 suitcases, left at a train station. Inside the suitcases were wigs, foreign currencies, sunglasses, clothing from different countries, and a notebook. Inside the notebook were coded entries, dates, locations, combinations of letters and numbers. Police eventually decoded them. They were travel logs, precise, organized, methodical. This was not random travel. This was structured movement. It was 1970. The Cold War was at its peak. Norway was strategically important to NATO. She had stayed near military installations, near naval testing sites. The theory emerged. She was a spy, possibly Mossad, possibly Soviet intelligence. Her behavior fit the profile. Multiple identities, code logs, cash payments, wigs, but no agency ever claimed her, and no missing person matched her description. Authorities eventually ruled the case a probable suicide. They suggested she overdosed on pills, then set herself on fire. But there were contradictions. Why remove clothing labels? Why travel under false names? Why carry coded logs? Why fracture her jaw? And perhaps most haunting of all, why did no one ever come forward to identify her? Decades later, the case was reopened. Journalists revisited the evidence. Modern DNA testing was attempted. Facial reconstructions were created. But even with advanced science, her identity remains unknown. She is buried under a name that was never truly hers. She crossed borders without leaving a trace. She checked into rooms under names that weren't hers. She erased herself long before she died. And when she burned in that valley, no one claimed her. More than 50 years later, we still don't know who she was. Some mysteries don't end. They wait. If you're drawn to real unsolved mysteries like this, subscribe. There are more stories that refuse to disappear.